All right guys, today we are back at the property. In the last two videos, we purchased this truck right here, the F-550. We have a full video on that, doing the actual purchase with the buyer. And then in the video after that, that wasn't really a build series video. It was more of just the adventure that we went on, trying to get this thing back. And if you watch that video, you'll see that we had a massive fuel leak and I ended up having to work in a gravel pit to be able to get rescued out in the middle of Nevada. And that all ended up being my fault. So yeah, we got that. So now we officially have an F-550, an F-450, and our giveaway rig over there, which is an F-350. Now both of these trucks have the 7.3 Power Stroke, the ZF6 6-speed manual transmission, and 4-wheel drive. And that one over there is also a 7.3 Power Stroke with 4-wheel drive, but that one has the 4R100 automatic. And we'll take a little closer look at this rig in a minute. So if you guys didn't know what the plan is for the F-550, we're going to be converting that 550 right there into a camper, and it's pretty much going to be my prototype for some of our future giveaway rigs. The plan today is to get the bed off of this thing and to really take a good look over it. So as the sneak peek on this one, once we get kind of a list together of everything that we need to fix to make it perfectly mechanically sound, this truck right here is going to go on super singles. And we actually have a little different super single setup that we're going to be running for this one that isn't your typical 41-inch Continental tires. And I really look forward to showing you guys this setup because it's a lot cheaper than the typical super single setup, and we're not going to have to lift the truck up as high or do as much modification to make it work. So it's going to be really cool. We are going to be adding a new bumper to this one. Don't know if we're going to go with an ARB or if we might actually DIY weld something up myself. I do enjoy welding, and while it'd be a lot easier just to buy an ARB bumper, I think it'd be really cool to show you guys an actual bumper build. And then we're going to have to do the typical restoration stuff. We're going to need to go ahead and get the frame cleaned up and painted. We're going to be doing about a 3.5-inch lift to clear the tires on this thing. On the interior of this truck, I haven't even been in it today, we got a bag full of stuff that we're going to be taking to Goodwill. And as clean as this truck looks in here, we are going to be getting rid of this seat, so we're going to be running buckets, and that's because we are going to be doing a cutout to do a pass-through. And I'll show you guys what the pass-through looks like on this rig. So on this truck, it came with a factory pass-through, and you can see the accordion boot back in there, and then it came with this fiberglass piece right here, which comes up so that way you can just pull that door to the side and walk right through. But the downside to having that fiberglass piece up there is that it takes away a lot of roof space, and you see how we kind of compensated for that by adding this little extension here for the roof rack. It's where we store a lot of bins and stuff like that. But that's not the plan with these two trucks. You'll see that they don't have that fiberglass piece that's cut into the cab up here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this box off of this truck and placing it onto the 550. And we're probably going to be spring mounting the box just because, you know, the 550 is a very rigid vehicle and the box is very rigid, so we want those to flex separately. And then I can't get any official plans on this until I actually tear into the box. But the plan is to do a roof raise on this ambulance box to actually have a cab over come out on it. And that's going to look a lot like an earth roamer. So we're going to really need to look at the structure of this box and figure out if it's structurally something that we can do to have that cab over come out, have a sleeping quarters up here, and then also to have the pass-through. And that's going to really make this truck look like an earth roamer. But tearing everything out of here will probably be the next video. And as soon as we get the box off of this truck, we need to come in here and finish up getting everything cleaned out of the shop. And we're gonna do the truck portion of this build first. So we're gonna get tires, wheels, all the restoration that we're gonna do to this truck, you know, all the engine modifications and all that. And then we're gonna be looking at taking this box off, getting it wheeled in there to actually do the aluminum work, get it painted and all that stuff. And then we're basically gonna set a ready to go camper on the back of this 550. And this truck right here is going to be for sale. So it's a 7.3 F-450 with the 6-speed manual, 4-wheel drive. So we're considering either selling this truck as is or getting up underneath of there, getting the frame painted. So if one of you guys wants to buy this 2000 F-450 7.3 ZF6 manual, just email contact@expeditionranch.com, and yeah, we're going to be getting this thing sold here pretty quick. Right up. All right, now it's time to start this guy up. To get this bed off, it should be pretty easy. Looks like we just have some pretty simple bolts here. Got some more bolts here. We do have these air tanks, which we're gonna need to take off. But yeah, we're about to get a look at the underside of this thing and see how much work we actually need to do to it. But what's gonna be a little bit more interesting to deal with is getting the tail lights out of here, as well as making sure that the fuel filler is out. Gotta get the safety squint going. All right, all the bolts that hold this thing on are off. Now for the fuel filler, if I take those off, this whole thing should be able to pop right through. All right, and this comes right down. Looks like it's hooked there. And so we'll just set that down, put the cap back on. All right, last step is to go ahead and get the wiring undone on this thing. I'm not gonna chase down fuses and all that. I'm just gonna cut and wrap with a little electrical tape. All right, so we got a wire going up here. And I think that that's for the light up top. We got this guy, which I didn't see. So this is an air tank right here for the air compressor in here. And we got this line wrapped around the cross member, so I got to get that undone too. And guys, don't forget that we're running a giveaway on this truck right here. I'm going to show you guys a quick peek at it here real quick. But what we're doing is through our store on expeditionranch.com, we're selling t-shirts and merch. We actually just got an order for some 18650 rechargeable flashlights. So those are like 1500 lumens. Pretty cool flashlights. We got some headlamps coming in too. So we'll actually have some gear on the site, because I know a lot of you guys, you know, including myself, it's not, you know, you can only have so many t-shirts and stuff. So we're super stoked that there's going to be gear on the website. Give that about a week and you'll start seeing that stuff pop up on the site. Some of it's going to be pre-order right now, but that's just as we're getting stuff in stock. And we're doing the pre-order so that way you guys don't miss any of the deadlines, because there's 11 bonus prizes that are part of this giveaway, and I don't want anyone to miss a deadline or something like that. Now, I was in this rig for about 3 years, so we just moved out of it. Now, this one is the 7.3 Power Stroke. It's got 124,000 miles on it now, which is really low for the engine. But we also, so we can get up underneath of here, we added a new transmission to this truck. So this 4100, it's got a stage 2 shift kit. It's got a deep dish pan. This transmission was rebuilt with some goodies, and it's got 3,000 miles on it now. But I'll show you guys in here real quick. Now, there's a couple of things that we're finishing up with this truck. Like, there's a few things in the shower that we're finishing up for you guys. But I'll show you what it looks like here. It is completely moved out of. So we have a little bit of trim that we're gonna add in a few spots. You can see here that we got some gunk to get off, so we're gonna probably do some touch-up paint in here. But yeah, this is our giveaway rig, fully moved out of. This right here lifts up so you can actually get yourself into the cab, which is really nice, and still have the counter space. It does have a cubic mini wood-burning stove, which has been super nice. The oven has been really cool because it has a 3-burner up top, and then it's got, you know, the full oven underneath. And then we have our fridge and freezer that's actually built into the countertop. And then we got a pull-out table so you can actually work from that monitor right there, which is pretty cool. We got some speakers. This whole thing has been bedlined, so this stuff has been super strong. You can probably see right there some pinstriping from brush, but that just doesn't happen with this. There's a ton of compartments. There's lights and outdoor speakers. I don't know what we got going on back here right now. Oh, it looks like I haven't fully moved out. But there's a full garage space back here, which is really nice. There's a ton of storage on this rig. You can see there kind of what we're working with on the inside. And this thing is pretty much a home on wheels. And then up top here, you can see our roof rack. That's 630 watts of tilting solar. So we actually can store surfboards and snowboards and stuff like that up here. And then we do have a Wii Boost. That's before Starlink came out. And then this is all storage up here. And the whole reason why we're giving this thing away is because that's really what we want to do here on the channel. We want to build really cool rigs, we want to film it for you guys, and we want to give anyone a chance at winning them. And then the thing that I really like about this project is that we're donating 10% of the proceeds to Tread Lightly and the Blue Ribbon Coalition. And Tread Lightly focuses on trail cleanups, dispersed camping area cleanups. They do a lot of stewardship and just education on that type of stuff. And then the Blue Ribbon Coalition, they'll actually take stuff to court. So when we had the 317 miles of trails and dispersed campsites get shut down in Moab, they're the ones that actually fought it and took it to court. So really the long-term goal with what we're doing here at Expedition Ranch is to build really cool rigs and create a long-term funding source for, you know, these nonprofits that I really support. So to get yourself entered to win this truck, all you need to do is head over to expeditionranch.com. Anything you get on our store will get you entries to win this truck and the remaining bonus prizes. So check it out. All right, we got that line off. Put that up here. So we're just gonna cut this and label it. And that's basically what we're gonna do for all the wires back here, unless I can easily remove them. Got these little guys for the air compressor valve. I'm just gonna snip those. If I can, geez. And then we got this wire right here, which I think was the generator start. And that wire might be live. So I'm gonna go in and chase that up and then run that down the frame here. All right, looks like that wire runs right to there. It looks like it's used to start the air compressor. We'll find out real fast. Yep, that's live. And it looks like it's hooked up right here to the battery, so we'll just take it off there. All right, this thing's off. Now test this. Yep, no power. Sweet. There we go, that's out. All right, that right there runs our entire right side as far as reverse lights and all that. So we are going to go ahead and run a cut right here and tie those off. All right, I just pulled this out and this was already cut. So just for safety's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of tape on the ends of all these. That looks good. All right, we got all the bolts off of this thing. We got all the wiring cut and labeled, at least pretty well labeled. And then the air tank's disconnected. The gas filler disconnected, and I think that there's just going to be a little bit of wiggling because we have 2 bolts in there right now that have a lot of weight on them. So once we get that weight off of them, this thing should lift up pretty easy. We got Brian coming in with the forklift here. Right here need to be hammered out.
Well, I should be able, once I get to a point where I'm lifted enough, they should pop out, and that tells me I'm floating. And over here, I'll lift a little bit, then you can try that to see if it's loose.
Okay, I'll grab my hammer.
Yep. Is the other side loose?
Try not to loose. Hey. I think I need to try
but I think the back end up now. I think yeah, because we have to slide this back end out. I think this side has to come up first. Up farther first to be able to have that slide off.
I got a better idea. Try to come forward a little bit and see what it does.
Remy, you might need to be on the brakes in there.
Responsible for anything.
Remy, okay. All you got to do is just put foot on the brake. Don't touch the clutch or anything else. Just foot on the brake hard.
Which one's the brake?
This one right here in the center is the brake. You got it. Believe in you. I kind of believe in her. Okay. More?
A little bit. Right there. We should be clear now.
Okay, now I just got to get up above the tire. I guess we can disconnect my the 450. All right, well this thing's coming off now. We had to move it back to clear this hitch. Now that's off. I think we should just be able to lift pretty high up.
Did we come up hard on the frame or any of the structure in the air tank?
It's pushed up against the frame rail pretty hard.
So it means you got to come back a little bit.
And this thing should be able to lift right up how it's sitting.
Yeah, if you're in neutral, the truck will just find its happy spot.
Yeah. So I got the e-brake on.
Yeah, if you just go neutral.
Keep on coming. Steel braided.
Something. Got another airline.
No, that one just, you gotta back up. It's loose.
No, it's not.
No, it's cut.
Oh, it's just pinched.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, try that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. A little bit more.
Okay.
Try that.
Yep. We got it. Here, look at this. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
happen on the truck.
Okay, the box is off. And there's just that one scare at the very end there where it fell off the forks, but the F-550 was not underneath of it. That's all that matters. So now I guess it's time to go ahead and sell that thing. All right, and just a couple final steps here. And then this guy right here, which was, I guess, just some type of support. You know, I think we might just have room right here where these air tanks were for an auxiliary fuel tank. This tank, I believe, only holds 38 gallons, so having an extra 40 to 60 on board would be really sweet. It looks like we got the room for it. And look at how filthy this thing is. Just tons of dirt everywhere. And rocks and more dirt. Ton of dirt up here at the tank. And this thing is just filled with dirt. So we are going to rip this exhaust out right here. This one. And I think, just for the fun of it, maybe I'll go ahead and give it a good old cut right now. So we are going to take off this exhaust and replace it with the 4-inch turbo back. We might put a muffler on it, we might not. If it's too loud, then I will, because I'm not 16 anymore wanting it super loud. But that's in the future. And I think right now I kind of want to hear what a 7.3 sounds like without a muffler. Okay, then we just got to push these guys out, and we should have a straight back exhaust after the catalytic converter, of course. We are in California. I'm being a 16-year-old boy.
I can tell.
Do you know what I'm doing?
No. Oh, straight pipes.
I'm getting rid of it anyway.
Yeah.
Figure right now I'll go ahead and cut it off before I start working in here.
Great.
I really want to hear my 7.3, just the cat.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Jesus.
I know that thing's big, isn't it? I might have to give it a cut right here so it comes out.
And that thing, I was thinking about, that thing probably dropped off the rigging because I tilted forward too far. Mistake.
It's all good. It's off and it didn't damage the truck.
Yeah.
Not much different. It's not a gasser. I'm kind of surprised. I know the diesels are a little quieter without the exhaust, but that thing is not loud. Like, it is really not that loud. I think the engine is noisier than what the exhaust does for this thing. That's enough time being childish. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing washed. All right, guys, this is what we're left with. Honestly, this thing cleaned up pretty good, but there was a ton of mud in here. All of these little guys in here, you can still see there's rocks in there and stuff. This whole thing is now finally exposed. No more dirt in the channels. There's just a ton on this frame. But this thing looks, you know, pretty clean. It's pretty much what I expected it to be. So I know we'll be taking leaf springs off. We'll be taking the fuel tank out. Not sure if I'm going to take everything off the frame running along here, but we might have to paint it. Either way, today was a really big first step. We have our platform ready to go. At least I shouldn't say ready to go. It's ready to get worked on. It's ready to turn into our platform to put the bed on. We'll have our super singles. We'll have about a 3.5-inch lift. We'll get that bumper off. We'll do some stuff to the interior. We're gonna paint it. I'm excited. This is gonna be a really fun project. In the next video, we're gonna demo that ambulance body and get that whole thing cleared out. We're doing that so that way we'll have official measurements. We'll know exactly where we're gonna cut, what we're gonna do to the body. And once we have that together, then we're able to actually nail down a perfect plan for this 550 camper build. See you guys next week.